Hey there, Cenk here with a quick presentation on how to get into the good books with Facebook so they send you dirt cheap traffic all day long. And I'm not talking about, posting on pages or spamming groups or anything like that, but no, how to work with their algorithm as opposed to gaming it. So Facebook sees value in what it is you're doing and literally puts you at the top of the list of people they want to send traffic to. So what I've got here is basically a harsh reality that hit me a couple of years ago. Namely, the ad prices for Facebook ads are going up. There are actually a couple of things going on here. But in general, the ad price is going up. And as you can see on this page, at the bottom it says CPMs for Facebook ads may continue to increase, and they actually do, as the platform approaches maximum ad load in the newsfeed. So the big news here is that there is a lot of competition. More and more people are getting on board with Facebook advertising, and as a result, ad prices go up. That's just the way it works. That's capitalism for you. And of course, the other one is that, and this is from Business Insider, it's not some random publication here, is due to the changes in the news feed and being more relevant, etc., their ad cost, CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions, has increased by 122%. Since 2017. So over the course of the last year, it's gone up by that much. So it's more than doubled. And even the year before, before they even did those tweaks, it was an increase of 45%. So the big epiphany I had there is where I couldn't ignore this, or I couldn't even work with this anymore. It was 2014. I remember running ad campaigns straight to checkout, and it was an ad on Facebook. Hey, look, do you want this? Go buy it here. $37, thank you very much. And I sold thousands of these copies. As a result, and it was dirt cheap. And as a result, made tens of thousands of dollars with those campaigns in a very short period of time. The problem is that no longer works. These days, you must focus on funnel ROI, a funnel revenue. That's the key thing. A lot of people focus on the cost per click. That really does not matter. You need to focus on two things: cost per acquisition. How much does it cost you to acquire a new customer? And the second one is, how much does your funnel make? Now you might be thinking, oh, do I need to build out a big funnel? No, that funnel can be as simple as an ad on Facebook and a landing page, a cart checkout page, perhaps, quite possibly, with an upsell. But that's about it. You don't need to build big fancy funnels. However, as long as you keep focusing on cost per click, and most people then focus on getting the lowest click possible, you're fighting a losing battle. Everything these days must be geared towards looking at revenue. How much can I get, or do I get out of this? Make the right tweaks, the right changes, and at the same time, keeping an eye on how much does it cost to acquire a customer. Now, the second big insight I had there, I have to get into the good books with Facebook. And this epiphany I actually had twice in my lifetime. The first time I had it when I was doing search engine optimization. Back when I got started, 2007, search engine optimization, or gaming search engine optimization, was the big thing. So I jumped on board and started optimizing my site and trying to trick Google into sending me free traffic. And I knew intellectually that the secret to getting all that Google love and long-lasting Google love is, of course, not to trick it, but to do what Google wants you to do, namely provide a great user experience. The sites where I was gaming Google, they made me money, make no mistake. But over time, Google discovered them one by one and killed them. And sometimes they discovered whole lots because I had all of them in one webmaster account. The sites where I was providing real value continue to get traffic these days because, well, I did the right thing. I did what Google wanted. Google wants to have people who use Google, right? And they use Google because they get great results. This very same thing applies to Facebook. You can go and do all kinds of multi-layering interests and doing precise targeting and retargeting and blah, blah, blah. None of that matters if you don't give Facebook what it is they want. They want to have a fantastic user experience for their users. The moment you start focusing on that, everything changes. Why? Because Google, and Facebook in this case, puts you at the top of their list. They say, this person is providing a great user experience. As a result, we want to send them more traffic. So absolutely no tricks. And the key thing is you need to do this across the board. You need to have the right audience or the right kind of targeting for the right audience. If you have an ad or a post that goes out to the wrong audience, they will not engage with it. As a result, that's a signal to Facebook, it's not a good match. You need to have the right targeting, of course. You need to have the right message. And that quite often, or more often than not, depends on where people are in their decision-making cycle. So if you target someone who is problem-aware but not solution-aware, well, what's going to happen, and you put on the wrong ad, namely something that's solution-aware, there is a disconnect. Again, it's a signal to Facebook saying, well, this is not a good fit. Let's put them at the bottom of our pile. You need to have the right format. These days, there's video, there's text, etc. The list goes on, but that's really the big insight, or the big two insights. Number one, you must balance the cost of acquisition with your funnel revenue. Stop looking at cost per click. It really does not matter. And the second one is, do everything. Have one thing in mind only, and that is keeping Facebook happy. Once you start from that perspective, everything changes because you're automatically creating great content that pre-sells people into looking at your offer. So basically, it's all about looking at the world from Facebook's perspective. And the trick we did back then with both search engine optimization and these days Facebook is, of course, to reverse engineer what gets good results. And the good result is the right kind of signal, or the kind of action that sends a signal to Facebook that you are creating great user experiences. Not just good, but you're actually on target, on focus. People love what it is you're doing, and they're sending that signal. Now, the big thing here is a lot of people then go, I create something viral content on Facebook. That is only half of the equation, and viral content is only a tiny, tiny part, if anything. That's not really where your focus should be. But that aside, a lot of people focus exclusively on Facebook and then ignore the big other part where you can get signals, namely your site or wherever people are landing. Once you get them off Facebook, Facebook can still track that, and you should do everything you can to send those signals over to Facebook so they can go, oh yes, not only on Facebook, but off Facebook also, people are having a great experience. As a result, people go, oh, I clicked on this ad on Facebook. It was relevant. Perfect. I got what I wanted. I should click on ads in the future. It is as simple as that. So there's, of course, the biggest secret of them all. And that is, it's all about small tests. It's the big mistake, and I've been there, I've done that, is to go in and start blasting lots of ads. Just because you have an ad or a budget, you go out and I'll test a ton of different ad angles. I tested a ton of different audiences. I put in huge ads so I can get a lot of traction very, very quickly. Facebook hates that, all right? In part, they hate it because the big secret to Facebook advertising is to help their algorithm learn. And it's as simple as it is machine learning. And the machine needs a little bit of time to learn what works and what doesn't work. And if you go in and throw lots of money at it, they kind of look at it as arrogance. And I've been there. I was arrogant. When I did those multi-thousand a week ad campaigns, I scaled very, very quickly from $10 a day to 100 to 1,000 to several thousand a day. Now, don't get me wrong. Back then it worked. These days, things have changed. They have changed fundamentally. So you can no longer do that. So the big secret is you must start small. Start with a $5 budget. Start with a $10 budget. That is how you get into the good books with Facebook, and then you start scaling it up very carefully, very slowly, so you keep staying in the good books. Righty. If you want a step-by-step guide for all of this, I've just looked at Wilco de Cray's new course, ConnectIQ Academy. It is fantastic. I'm going to show you just a quick look in what's in there. He takes a very, very similar approach. The big picture is, oh, look at this here, download media. No, we don't want to download this video. He takes a very similar approach. He looks at the whole, the big picture. He steps out and goes, right, with everything we're doing, and you see this over here, what needs to be in an ad, what needs to be in targeting, what needs to be in retargeting, how do we do our bidding, our scaling, how do we deploy all of this? Everything is based around this one question, namely, how do I get into the good books of Facebook? And it's all due to the big changes I showed you in the beginning. They changed their newsfeed, they want to show more relevant content, and this is exactly what it's about. I'm not going to go into great detail what's in the course. There is absolutely everything you need. This is literally a step-by-step course. I've been, bought many courses myself where you end up going, well, it's fine. And I'm going to show you one in a second here. Now I know how to do whatever, storytelling, but what about the rest? Here it's all in there, and you can start looking at the things I listed earlier. How do I reach the right audience? How do I choose the right kind of ad? How do I deploy this? How do I actually test different ideas? All of these things, it's all in here. It's a fantastic course. Absolutely love it. There are also some great bonuses. I'm not going to show you what they are. He may or may not reveal that in his sales copy. Again, it's stepping back and going, let's do the tricks. Make no mistake, there are cool tricks. I mean, this one here, the white ocean, is absolutely fantastic. Again, it's based on what is working. Don't you just love it when the camera runs out of battery in the middle of filming? Fantastic, that's what happened. All right, hence the strange cut in the video. Alrighty, so I don't know exactly where it cut off, so let me restart here. So what you're seeing in ConnectIQ Academy is, of course, their great tactics, and the white ocean one, absolutely brilliant, proven over and over again. Also with exactly the changes, or aligned with the changes that are happening in Facebook. However, it's all based on the fundamental strategies that drive all of this, namely creating a great user experience from beginning to end. Not just focusing on the ad on Facebook, but then taking it further into the sales page, then the product delivery. All of that plays a huge role. So Facebook advertising these days, I guess, is more of a holistic type thing, as opposed to take this interest targeting thing and get 1 cent clicks. I've been there, I've done that, and after figuring out that focusing on 1 cent clicks doesn't work, I kind of had to giggle at all these posts on Facebook. Hey, look, join my new course where you can get video views for 3 cents. It's like, yeah, what's the point? There is no point having a video view that's totally irrelevant. People are not interested. And let's face it, video views in most cases are only 3 to 5 seconds, and it's mostly because you're scrolling through the timeline as opposed to people engaging with it. And that's really what ConnectIQ Academy is about, getting that right kind of engagement, so people are really interested in what it is you've got, and they're pre-sold. So once they go to your sales page, they actually engage with it and in all likelihood buy, because that is all tracked by Facebook. And that is what gives you those dirt cheap clicks and puts you at the front of their queue, where they're going, well, we should serve this person more and give them cheaper clicks and cheaper ads and more exposure, simply because they're providing a great user experience. So I have been doing Facebook advertising since, really actively since 2013, 14. And there are a couple of things I found out. And one is there is a big trick. Wilco kind of touches upon it, but he doesn't explicitly tell you about it. And this one trick gives you better qualified prospects than any other approach. Now, I've seen how this works in practice, both in my own work and doing it for clients. People, Facebook loves this. When you use this, absolutely loves you for using it. It literally gives Facebook everything they want. And it is literally the quickest way for going ROI positive. This is going from Facebook ad to straight to sales page. So what I did in 2014, that no longer works. With this trick, you can still do it. And it is absolutely outstanding. I learned this from a fairly expensive course. And I'm going to give this to you if you choose to pick up ConnectIQ Academy through my link, which is down below the video. It is so powerful that every time I see this in practice, it is literally you spend whatever it is, $10 roughly to acquire a new customer, and you immediately make a profit. Not revenue, but profit of $20, sometimes $30 or more. There's another thing. With all of this, remember, it's social media. People are there to engage, to tell stories, to be engaged by stories. And storytelling is where it's at. And storytelling is where you get those relevance scores of 10, right? 10 is basically the signal to or from Facebook telling you, you are doing a great job. Now, of course, you want to extend that relevance score of 10 across to your site, to all the signals being level 10. And this storytelling I've learned in a course where I paid $697 for it. It was worth every single penny. I've deployed it, and my ads were good, but they are now at the level of 10. Now, on top of that, I have been going through Michael Haig's course he created with Andre Chaperon, or the other way around, which is another $197 course. Again, outstanding stuff. And I'm going to show you how to apply this to Facebook advertising, how I am applying this to Facebook advertising, how I'm helping clients apply this to their Facebook advertising to get to those relevant scores of 10. I'm going to give that to you if you choose to get ConnectIQ through my link. So I've got those two bonuses. One is the storytelling for relevance, and the other one is that amazing trick for going ROI positive very, very quickly. I mean, make no mistake, as Wilco says, in his incidentally, the introduction is absolutely worth watching. It is one of the first introductions where I'm going, yes, you've nailed it. It's not the usual, here, look over there, and if you want to contact support. No, this is fundamental insights and findings he has learned the hard way over the last X years. It is absolutely worth watching. And anyway, in there, he talks about I've lost my train of thought. There you go. There was one thing in there, and it was absolutely fabulous. Let me pause this. But there you go. That's what happens when you have too many thoughts in your head at the same time. So there you go. Big picture. Actually, big picture. Stepping back. There are big changes. Ad cost is going up. You really must, if you want to succeed with Facebook ads, and Facebook ads are still the big gold rush. I mean, this is what everyone should be on, right? Because your audience is on Facebook. Make sure you start ignoring the 1 cent clicks, ignore the video views for 0.1 click cent or whatever it is, and start focusing on creating great user experiences across the board, namely from the ad all the way to the site they land on and then the product they're getting, because that all sends signals over to Facebook telling them that this is worth sending traffic to, and that's exactly what it is they want. So focus on creating or generating revenue and then comparing that to the cost of acquisition. And that really is what ConnectIQ Academy is. It's about doing that in a step-by-step fashion based on the results Wilco has had over the last few years, in a wonderful format that is easy to implement. You just follow the steps, do them. It's also based on solid fundamentals as opposed to actually, it's a combination. It's the solid fundamentals, whilst at the same time taking into account or being based on that big shift. Namely, you must give Facebook what it is they want, as opposed to, I'll try to go and trick Facebook. So there you go. If you're interested, the link is down below. These are my two bonuses, storytelling for relevance, and the other one was this one here, the one big trick. I'll get, you send me a receipt and I'll get those to you after the refund period runs up. These two things I basically have in my inner circle, and they are worth, as you can see, a lot of money. So once the refund period is up, you're getting access to these. But frankly, once you go through here, it wouldn't be right to implement those two straight away anyway. You need to go through this stuff in the first place before you can start implementing that money back trick and the storytelling anyway. So there's nothing lost by going through this first and then getting those two things. Alrighty, there's a link down below. Send me your receipt and I'll hook you up. Cheers. Bye.